So Craig and I did not plan for this in the original building design, and I'm kind of kicking myself for it now. But whenever we want to do special presentations in here, people can't do the triple wide screen because it's going through this Deck Lake Duo card. So there's two options when people want to use the screens in here. They can come and build it in ProPresenter, because ProPresenter is what is sending the video to the screens through this DeckLink card.
Yep.
In ProPresenter, you can configure my output is this DeckLink Duo card. Otherwise, you can't put something on the projector. And I'm like, this is a problem, because 922 Moms, Grief Share, other special presentations would like to show something on the screen. And I'm like, sorry, I can't. So I had to think of a solution. So my solution was what I like to call Radio Shack it a little bit. Hop onto Amazon and buy some components and wire things up. Not ideal to make it work. So what I did was I have this little video switcher right here. It's a 3-channel video switcher. I injected that into the line of the center projector. So you got the flashlight, excellent. So down here underneath the desk is this little rack unit here. And if you go up in there, you see 3 units, 1, 2, and 3. Those are HDMI to CAT converters. Those are sending signal to the 3 projectors over CAT line. And then up at the projectors, it's reconverting it over, I think, to HDMI. I'm not even sure. But that is how we get up there.
So it goes from the box there to those?
It does go to those. I actually had to get some SDI to HDMI converters, because each one of those units back there is like $1,000, I think. I looked it up. They were expensive. Right. So now it goes SDI to converter box that changes it over to HDMI, which goes into those converters, which changes it over to CAT. So I had to do that to get this working. So one little note I will make while we're down here looking at this is there have been a couple times where one of the projectors was not working at all. And I was like, what is going on? I looked under the desk and you can see those green lights there. One of those was completely out. There were no green lights on it. I tore it open. Actually, no. There's a power supply unit right there that brings a wire up. That power supply unit is plugged in down here. That is feeding power to those 3 units. Okay. So I unplugged it, replugged it in, and it worked again. I power cycled it.
Okay.
And then we took it apart. I remember, I think you were with me on that. What they did is they took that power supply and cut it and pulled the wires out and wired it, because they're actual wire contacts. And they daisy chained the power together so that it could bring power to each 3 of those units. Some of those wires were not twisted and screwed in tightly. I think I got that nice and tight now. I think I got it good, but just watch those lines, and it's a little screwdriver, insert the wire, electrician, screw it down, so it pinches it down in there. Some of those wires were just wasn't really solidly in there. So I think I got it good, but keep an eye on that. Okay, that was the side note for that. So what I did is I basically inserted into that center projector a different HDMI line from this switcher, so that I can select which HDMI input I want to send to the center projector.
Okay.
That's what I ended up doing. So that allows me to pick from one of 3 sources. Number 1 is ProPresenter. That is this source. Number 2 is the stage PC. So remember, we opened up that center box. There is a Crestron unit. The other Crestron end is right back here, which converts that CAT line to an HDMI, which plugs into here. Okay. So that's how I got the stage PC back there on number 2. Number 3 is booth laptop, which is this lovely cable right here. So if I were to plug this guy into my computer right here and wanted to do a presentation, I can switch, there's a little input switch right here, and switch that to number 3, which is booth laptop. You'll see the center projector flicker. Takes a second because it's an Amazon product. And there's my screen. So this is my rinky-dink way of getting a presentation up there. For the to-do of the next production manager, this was on my list, and Aero AV actually had started a quote and it started compiling some components for this, is to switch over to the Extron switch like we had at St. Peter, where you can select the inputs, to install an Extron switch and then have them program the touch panel to have an input selector mode the same way that we have it at St. Peter. That's really what we need here. And so they had begun to build that, but that is needed. That's where it needs to go, because I don't like the Amazon's option here. I like it. I like to get away from the Radio Shack, buy the parts, make it work. To get it to, I want it nice and clean and on the touch panel, so it's easy for a person coming in to go over and just change the input and not have to worry about this and this and this. So that is a to-do, an important to-do, because we're getting more and more and more activities happening in here. So that is how I have it connected. And as you can see right now, the 2 side screens are turned on, which doesn't look very good. So what I tell people to do is come over to the touch panel, and I alluded to this in a different video, is to go to the Advanced tab, go, and turn off the right and the left projector. And now you have a clean center screen video that you can use. The other option is to leave ProPresenter on and have like a triple wide graphic behind that blends okay. And you can still do something aesthetically pleasing, perhaps. But for general purposes, this is how I do a presentation. 922 Moms has a video to show all the moms. Grief Share comes in here and they watch a video. And this is how they've been trained to get their video up on the screen for those presentations. I want it to become a video, if it's there, or some other input, and be able to select right here, laptop, stage PC, or ProPresenter, and make it real simple for people to change that input. So that is a very important to do with Aero AV. They've already started that quote. One final piece about this is if you need to show a video and it has audio, hopefully with Aero AV and the Extron switch, you can actually get audio in through the HDMI cable. That would be ideal. So I would include that in the conversation with them. For right now, there are 2 audio cables. There is one here with a green tip that says Quick Mix on it. I don't even think I spelled it the same way it's on there, but whatever. So this cable works if you're in Quick Mix mode. The ProPresenter computer has an audio cable right here that this cable works in console mode. And so if you're in console mode and you want to show a video, you need to use the cable, pull it out of the ProPresenter computer. And when you're done, don't forget to plug it back in. Otherwise, they don't have audio on Sunday and they're wondering why it's not working. If you're doing your presentation in Quick Mix mode, you need to use this cable. The reason for that is down underneath down here, we have a unit called the Whirlwind PCDIQ. It's basically a DI box for like computers. And there's a number of inputs, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, and channel 4. So I dug into this, and with how this thing is designed, I couldn't do it where they would all just be on one, so I had to break it up. And actually, I do have console cable right here that I maybe could do a separate cable for. I can't remember. But it's because of this unit that I had to do it with 2 separate cables for quick mix and console because of how this whole system was configured.
Okay.
If Arrow can re-engineer it to, and maybe it means replacing that device and making the Extron the audio source. If they can do that, that would just simplify all the audio stuff. So that it just comes in on the HDMI and then goes into the system from there. So make sure that that is included in the conversation with Arrow AV. So that is how this system currently works, and I would very much encourage that next step with the Extron and the upgrades to happen as soon as possible, because this is getting used a lot and often. If you come back in here sometime and they're like, my center screen doesn't work, someone probably was in here doing a presentation and did not switch it back to Pro Presenter. So don't forget. A lot of times people, I already turned the side projectors off, but the center one is still working. So there it is.